Hey everybody, it's Sean from the Commander's Brew. You know us, we're always brewing crazy fun decks and having a few laughs while we do it. Well, this week's no different. Brand new Midnight Hunt Commander, Florian Voldaren Scion. But we do the Florida Man treatment for it. Check it out.
Okay, it is Florian Voldaren Scion as the commander for this week's deck tech. Sean, lay it on us. What are we doing with this?
Okay, before we go too deep, I just need to, when the spoilers are dropping, this whole deck came about because I read this as Floridian Voldaren Scion. My brain read the word Florida in there somewhere, but this is Florian Voldaren Scion. 1 black red, legendary vampire noble, 3/3 with first strike. At the beginning of your post-combat main phase, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the total amount of life your opponents lost this turn. Exile one of those cards, put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order, and you may play the exiled card this turn. But I read this as Florida Man. I want to make Florida Man the deck. Obviously, we want to do damage to our opponents, and then we want to dig through our deck and get a cool new card to keep that train rolling. But since this is the Florida Man deck, the theme of this deck is doing stuff that your opponents cannot predict, that they cannot understand, that I want to run cards where your opponents are like, really? You're running that card? Well, this person's not a threat. But also, they can't take our eyes off us because they don't know what we're going to do next. Just unpredictable. That's the theme.
I do love that you got, you thought it said Floridian, but there are a lot of parallels between Florida and Innistrad. You know, both are horrific, hellish hellscapes filled with zombified people who are constantly terrorizing their neighbors and don't care about anyone. Anyways, shout outs to Florida.
Shout outs to Florida. So that's what this deck's all about. Normally we would talk about the vegetables of a deck, but what are even vegetables for this deck, right? Like, we don't care about vegetables. We don't need vegetables. A large chunk of our deck are little disposable creatures. We're either going to sack them for value or we're not. You don't know. So let's talk about Dire Fleet Hoarder. 1 and a black. 2/1. When it dies, create a treasure token. I'm attacking you with this. Are you going to block it? I'm going to attack into your 4/4. Are you going to block it? You're just going to take 2.
I'll block it.
Great. You block it. I got my treasure token. Cool. My moves keep going, right?
Sure.
Now I've got a Horde Robber. 1 and a black. 1/3. Whenever it deals damage to you, create a treasure token. You blocking this one?
Sure.
Okay, you block this one? Cool. But now I'm casting Virulent Swipe. It's a single black instant, +2/+0, and Death Touch on my creature, and it's got Rebound, so one of these little dorks is coming in with definite Death Touch next turn. So now I've set the tone. This is the tone I set. You don't know what's coming at you. Maybe you should block, maybe you shouldn't block. But it's not going to be predictable. You don't know what's going to happen either way.
I didn't know Florida meant combat tricks.
It could.
It could.
It
right?
could. Who knows
if
what
you're
it means?
from Florida, you're all about tricks.
That's the closest we have to vegetables. Let's get to our meat moves.
Working on a
Meat.
Okay, bring us back. We got the neat moves. Here they are.
Okay. You're sitting down at the table with the Florida Man, the deck.
True.
And then I tap 6 lands and I cast Minion of the Wastes. 3 black. It's a minion
of Florida.
Of Florida. It has trample and it's a star. When you play Minion of the Wastes, pay any amount of life. Minion of the Wastes has power and toughness each equal to that amount. Now, Andy, I'll ask you, as a sensible commander player, what amount of life would you pay to get that size creature for 6 mana? How would you handle this?
If I have 40 life.
Yeah, let's say
my
normal
deck isn't a life gain
right
thing where I know I'm getting it back, but it's
Right.
just a number I'm comfortable giving up.
Yeah.
I'd say like 8.
An 8/8 Frayed Life.
And an 8/8, a 6-mana 8/8 trample seems at least decent, but like I could go as high as 10, I would say.
Okay.
I could go up to 10.
I feel like in this deck we're gonna go with 20. I feel like 20
half
is
your
good.
life. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, one removal spell would just chop away 20 life, but we don't care. If we don't care, we're not even gonna bat an eye. We're not gonna complain. We're gonna say fine, because we're Florida man the deck.
You're Florida man, you don't care.
Next card, you take this one.
Okay, next we have, I know this card. I've got this card in my Darien deck. Torture Chamber. Yeah, sounds like the entire state of Florida. 3 mana for the artifact that says, at the beginning of your upkeep, put a pain counter on Torture Chamber. At the beginning of your end step, Torture Chamber deals damage to you equal to the number of pain counters on it, and then pay 1 and tap it. Remove all pain counters from Torture Chamber. It deals damage to target creature equal to the number of pain counters removed this way. So this is like staple of decks where you want to have damage dealt to yourself, and then in a pinch, it can act as like a removal spell.
It can act as a removal spell, but we want our opponents to like look at us and we're like, this thing's up to 5. Are you gonna crack this yet? Nah.
Yeah, right? Yeah. What are you
Nah.
doing? Oh, I'm hurting myself a lot. That's what I'm doing.
Not gonna. Some of you might be asking, are we planning on trading life totals with this deck? No.
No,
No.
we're just taking it.
That's not what we're doing. That's not the your first mistake is thinking we have a plan.
Yeah, certainly when I saw these 2 cards, I'm like, okay, I'm beginning to see the plan here. I see. We're going to be paying life. We're going to be getting our own life totals down. I didn't necessarily immediately think about trading life, but it was starting to crop up there for sure.
So, of course, we're running cards like Corpse Augur, 3 and a black, Zombie Wizard, 4/2. And when it dies, you draw X cards and lose X life, where X is the number of creature cards in target player's graveyard. I don't care if, I would love 10 cards and lose 10 life. That's fine. I'm going to do that with my Corpse Augur. And then similarly functioning is Midnight Reaper. It's 2 and a black for a 3/2 zombie knight. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, it deals 1 damage to you and you draw a card. But we've got a lot of little non-token dorks that we're ready to throw away for combat, and it will make our opponents think twice about blocking just to not give us a card from it. So it does kind of throw some confusion into it.
This is wild. This feels like I was just thinking about this. Like, this feels like the deck where it's like you're racing against yourself. Like, will I kill myself? I will eventually. So
Yeah.
I'm racing myself to try and win this game somehow.
Right.
Meanwhile, my own cards are killing me.
Yeah. Oh, this
That's
next
interesting.
card is not great, but it is perfect for this deck.
Winter Sky, single red for a sorcery that says flip a coin. If you win the flip, Winter Sky deals 1 damage to each creature and each player. If you lose the flip, each player draws a card.
Great.
Sure.
Great.
Either nothing happens or we all draw a card.
Well, but not nothing though, because Florian, our opponents will all have lost 1 life, so we'll at
True.
least get to look at 3 cards, exile 1, and cast it this turn. Like that is a thing we can do.
This day is so weird that I'd already forgotten that Florian was the commander of it, and that was a
Right.
good effect that we have in the deck.
Yeah. So I mean, either way, we're happy with this. Either way,
It's only life that your opponents lost this turn.
right.
We do know that.
Right.
Okay, all right.
But I mean, that's 3, like 1 each, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Or we've drawn our card. That's fine too. And this is a sneaky combo with Zurzoff Chaos Rider, who's just in here for the chaos. 2 and a red for a legendary devil, 2/3. Whenever an opponent draws their first card each turn, if it's not their turn, right? Winter Sky has everyone draw a card. You create a 1/1 devil creature token with, when this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. And whenever 1 or more devils you control attacks 1 or more players, you and those players each draw a card, and then you discard a card at random. So, great. Let's bring a little bit of chaos in here. I don't care
Love
what I throw
Zurzoff.
away.
Very fun. Very Florida.
Yeah. So this next suite of cards, the tone of them change. When you're playing against the Florida Man deck, when they resolve one of these cards, you need to think of them a little bit differently.
Okay, first we have Wheel of Misfortune. 2 and a red for a sorcery. Each player secretly chooses a number 0 or greater. Then all players reveal those numbers simultaneously and determine the highest and lowest revealed this way. Wheel of Misfortune deals damage equal to the highest number to each player who chose that number. And each player who didn't choose the lowest number discards their hand and then draws 7 cards.
So it's Wheel of Fortune, but one person doesn't get to participate and one person pays some life. Knowing you're against Florida Man, like what do you think? Are they going to bid 0?
Well, you're not allowed. You have to pick. Oh no, you can pick 0. Yeah. So if you pick 0,
you're guaranteed to lose.
Yeah.
But what's Florida Man going to do?
But what's Florida Man going to do? Well, he's either going to take a bunch of damage or wheel his hand, right?
Or maybe
also
maybe I'll pick
anything?
0 and you'll take the damage. But yeah, so if you've created the right environment where they're like, well, he's probably gonna pick 15, so I can probably safely pick 12 and definitely not be the one who doesn't wheel.
Right, if you want to wheel, right? Yeah. It's so funny. I've had this card casting games I've played in a few times now, and I've never not picked 0.
Because you've not wanted to wheel.
Yeah, and it's just it's not that I wouldn't wheel or I don't understand that wheeling is good. I do know wheeling is very good, and I would do it but I think it was just the 2 or 3 times it happened, I was just like, I got a mitt full of cards and they're all good, so I'm just gonna keep my hand every time.
Yeah, interesting.
So yeah, but it is. It's very this deck to have this card in here. I like that it's there's a chaos slant, but not in the way we normally think of chaos in Magic.
Right.
It's not messing with permanence. It's not, making decisions, throwing decisions out the window. It's just a chaotic vibe and chaotic actions as opposed to spells. You know what I mean?
I'm not bringing chaos into your game by changing what you're doing.
Right.
I'm bringing chaos into your game by being here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love it. It's great.
Yeah.
We also have Mage's Contest here, which is 1 red for an instant that says you and target spell's controller bid life. You start the bidding with a bid of 1. In turn order, each player may top the high bid. The bidding ends if the high bid stands. The high bidder loses life equal to the high bid. If you win the bidding, counter the spell. So it's a game of chicken of how badly do you want this spell to resolve? And I'll tell you what, I bet Florida Man wins this most of the time, because I feel like Florida Man is really going hard on the ones with a 1-upping every time. Doesn't care. He's going to lose 50.
Doesn't care. Are you gonna even enter this game? Are you and then are you gonna get bold enough to be like, okay, I'm tired of Florida Man. I'm gonna bump him up to 10 life.
I'm tired of Florida Man.
I'm gonna get him up to bidding 10 or 11 so that he's dead quicker. But might stop. If you're gonna take 10,
chaotic.
All right.
in nature, he could stop. He could stop at 5. He could stop at 10.
He could. You don't know.
You just don't know.
I also want to throw in that we're running Shrine of Burning Rage. It's a 2-mana artifact. At the beginning of your upkeep or whenever you cast a red spell, put a charge counter on it. 3 tap, sack Shrine of Burning Rage, do that much damage to anywhere, any target. This thing can get very big. This thing, I've seen this, when this comes down early, this will get to a point where it can end someone's life.
Yeah, absolutely.
In one shot. And you don't want Florida Man having that kind of power.
No way. Keep that type of power out of his hands.
We're also running Time Bomb. It's a 4-mana artifact. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a time counter on Time Bomb. 1 tap, sack this. Time Bomb deals damage equal to the number of time counters on it to each creature and each player. Just everything gets hit for a bunch. And then similar to Time Bomb is Heart of Bogarden. 2 red for an enchantment with cumulative upkeep of 2.
Oh, wow.
Florida Man is the only person who will run cumulative upkeeps like this. When a player doesn't pay Heart of Bogarden's cumulative upkeep, it deals X damage to target player or planeswalker and each creature that player or that planeswalker's controller controls, where X is twice the number of age counters on Heart of Bogarden, -2. What?
Yeah, wait, what?
It's hard to figure out. So if I've paid, there's 1 age counter and I've paid 2. And if I let this go, it does 0 damage.
So it's kind
The
of this,
next-
yeah, okay. So you
It's like-
basically it's like you've had to have paid the cumulative upkeep like at least 3 times for this to even do anything.
Yeah.
And then it only does with the 1 damage. But if you pay it 4 times, then it's tossing around to 4. Yeah, 2 damage, right?
So you're sitting here and you're like, well, surely Florida Man won't keep paying the cumulative upkeep. That'll take his entire mana to pay 1 more. But there he
2,
goes,
4, 6.
paying the whole thing.
There he goes.
And you're like,
he just paid 8 mana. He took his whole
he's
turn.
doing nothing with his
He's doing
turn.
nothing with his turn.
He's got a black up, so he might have virulence. I can't attack into him because he's got one of his things might have death touch. So.
Guy's got 2 life. I don't know what he's doing over there.
But now it's.
I do know what he's doing. I do
where
know
it's
one
like-
thing he's doing though, because he's playing Time Bomb. He's certainly wearing a black coat, black shoes, black hat. He's probably driving a Cadillac.
Yeah,
You might say the boy's a Time Bomb.
You might say. You might say. This next card is a legit good card in this deck.
Heartless Headed Sugu, real classic. 3 red for the 4/3 legendary ogre shaman. I always forget this guy's legendary. He can be your commander.
Right.
Tap, just tap. Tap Heartless Headed Sugu, and he deals damage to each player equal to half that player's life total rounded down.
Guess who's gonna pay the least from this ability?
It's going to be Florida Man because he's only got 2 life.
Yeah, but if you activate this, you're gonna look at 30 cards and exile one of them and be able to play that this turn. So if there's a piece you really want, Heartless Headed Sugu will get that piece for you.
If you had a plan in this Florida Man deck, which you don't,
No,
but if you did, this card would be really good with the commander.
this card would be great. Here's a stupid move.
Okay, one.
Here's one stupid move. At some
The first
point,
one of the deck.
I'm gonna cast the biggest earthquake I can, and if it kills me as well, meh.
This deck feels like a prank.
I mean, this deck could see a draw by resolving an earthquake and killing everybody. This deck could create a draw, and it would have no problem with that.
Yeah, you know what it also feels like? I thought this at the beginning, and I'm still thinking it. This deck is it's like, it would be like if you for some reason you don't want to tell your friends you don't want to play with them anymore. It's late or something, and you're just like, I really just want to go, but I don't want to be rude. I think these guys want to play a game. So I was like, all right, guys, all right, we'll play one more. And then you bring out this deck and you just kill yourself on turn 4, and you're like, oh, well, anyways, I'll just get out of here.
Pay any amount of life, 40. I'm dead.
Sorry. Oh, I'm dead. Sorry, guys. Anyways, gotta go. Yeah. It's like, just say you couldn't play. Florida Man.
I have one truly neat move. There is truly an achievement in this deck, and that is to win with no lands left on the battlefield. We're going to start by
I know
casting
what card you're going to use for this.
Firecat Blitz,
Yes.
X red sorcery, put X 1/1 red cat creature tokens with haste into play, and then we're going to flash it back for red and sacrificing X mountains for even more cats. And if we still have lands, we're going to try to save some mana in our mana pool so we can cast Mana-sism. Seism.
Yeah.
It's like seismic, but without the ick.
Weird.
1 and a red for a sorcery, sack any number of lands, add that much colorless mana. So, and then we'll use that to fire off a Comet Storm on and finish everybody who has still got a bit of life left. No lands on the board. Sack all those things. Hopefully we win that way.
Absolute chaos. Utter chaos.
Yeah.
But this is a chaotic deck in a very different way, which is interesting.
Yeah.
I would love to see you put this deck together and play it in like a GP, and like just to watch people's reactions of like, what are you doing?
That's the reaction this deck wants. That's the direction. Like Florida man, you read those things, you're like, what is happening over there?
And at this point, you told me enough of the cards, but you told me the original game plan, and I am going like everyone would think you're going to switch life totals with them. That's what everyone would think right away.
Nah.
But I'm not going to do that.
Nah.
I don't even have a plan. You'd think this even uses Florian in a real serious way, and it does, but it doesn't use it to get anything specific.
No.
It takes advantage
more
of his
these
ability.
fun
But
things.
yeah, interesting, very fun.
Let's thank some Discord helpers. Let's thank Chiefy, T Coates, Papadillo, Nosrak 2, Pips Don't Lie, Barents, Dino Pirate, Groove Chicken, Eloy Dude, Sloth Bear, Neomaxis. Coming in. Oh, and now we have to do, I almost did it without the intro, the budget report.
All right, yeah, budget for this.
The mid, it's like $91. There's a few pricier cards in here, but the low is pretty cheap. Forgot to look it up, but it's
Usually
probably
it's about half, maybe a little bit
about
more.
half of what it is.
40
But the
bucks,
most
I bet.
expensive card, Pyrohemia, $7.50. 2 red enchantment at the beginning of the end step. If there's no battlefields, you sacrifice it, but you get to pay red to do a damage to each creature and each player. This has actual value with Florian because Florian's a 3/3. So you can always do 2 damage to each opponent and all their creatures and your creatures and still look at 6 cards for 2 mana. So like that this is actually a good card for Florian. That's why it's a lot of money. So we can cut it.
For sure. So naturally, we're cutting it.
Yeah.
Bolus's Citadel also. This card's at around $6. It looks like, which makes sense. It's a great card. 3 black for the legendary artifact. You can look at the top card of your library at any time. You can play the top card of your library. If you cast a spell this way, you pay life equal to its its mana value, rather than pay its mana cost. And then you can tap this and sacrifice 10 non-land permanents, and each opponent loses 10 life.
I mean, that also is looking at 30 cards if you have 3 living opponents left. So like it's still a good card in Florian. And I think this is a keeper in Florida, man, because we're just going to pay a lot. If we see a card we can cast, we're casting it. We're paying the life.
You're paying the life. You don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true whenever anyone has a Bolus's Citadel, I feel like.
I mean, are we...
I run my life total into the ground whenever I get this card. I don't care.
I never thought about this, but what if a Comet Storm's on top? Are we allowed to multi-kick it and make X equal like as much life as we have? Are we allowed to like win the game that way?
I think so. It doesn't say like you can't use X spells.
Right.
Pay life equal to it says converted mana cost on the card, but mana value, so it doesn't say like you can't
mana
use
value
X. The mana
of an
value
X
is
spell.
what you decide what it is, right?
Yeah, okay. Okay.
It's variable.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, okay. Finally, also, you got Chandra's Ignition here, right? 3 red for the sorcery that says target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to each other creature and each opponent. Very Florida man feel.
Yeah. Yeah. It's $6. Were there any pricey cards we didn't run? Nah.
Nope.
I mean, I don't know. Like, run whatever you want. We couldn't think of any that like this deck needed.
Yeah, that's the thing with this type of deck. It's really, it's so out there. I can't think of anything either. Oh, but you do have a little budget, baby.
Budget baby, Skurstag High Priest. This is a
Yeah.
50-cent card. 1 in a black, human cleric 1/2 with morbid. Tap 2 untapped creatures and this. Create a 5/5 black demon creature token with flying. Activate only if a creature died this turn. In this deck, happens all the time.
Yeah, I love this card. It's been around for so long, and it always does more work than you think it's going to. It always gets the player 5/5 giant flying creatures, and you're just like,
Yeah.
how do you have so many of them? It's like, oh, it's been a few turns of the table now where I've untapped this guy twice or something, like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good card. Great little budget baby there.
Yeah.
Well, what a truly chaotic deck you've put together in
Yes.
truly chaotic fashion, and this whole episode fairly chaotic in that I did feel like I was being pranked for a lot of it in the best possible way, because it was fun and exciting.
Yeah.
So great job. Well, yeah, that's it. Check out the Lost Cards. It's going to be coming out after this, of course, as always. But otherwise, we'll be back next week with a brand new deck tech. Come on back. Have a laugh. Let's do it. Florida man. See you then. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. If you love what we're doing, consider supporting the show by going to patreon.com/commandersbrew.
And if you want to get any of the cards from our deck list, go to our TCG Player affiliate link below.
That helps us out too, and for a free way to help us out, consider sharing the show with some friends. Like and subscribe, add a comment or two.
See you later.
Bye.